Because of monetization purposes, what I really want to say, how I really want to start this video, I need to wait a little farther along into the video itself. But don't you worry, we will get back to something I had to address this week. But on a more positive, amazing note, it's time for introspection. That's right, we do that a lot over here, especially because everything doesn't have to be about let me just buy, don't sleep. It doesn't. I think introspection is great, and I've done quite a bit of it. I'm not saying it's easy, I'm not saying it's fun, but it's real and self-awareness is important. So let's discuss the 80-20 rule in relation to clothing, but also sneakers. So 80-20 rule essentially just states that 80% of the time you wear 20% of what you own in total. So let's break that down really fast with some easy numbers. If you own, let's say 100 pairs of sneakers, and I know many of you do, that would mean for 292 days of a 365 calendar year, or 24 days of every average month, you're only wearing 20% of your collection, which of course would mean you're really wearing like 20 pairs 80% of the time. Now, one thing I am curious about though is does that apply to you? Like, if you can take a step back, kind of canvas your closet, your home, think about all the pairs you wore this month that just passed, which was October, few months prior to that. Majority of the pairs you're wearing, could you encapsulate it into really being 20% of what you own total to wear most of the time? And, that decreases, of course, so the number is smaller if you have a smaller collection. So, granted, if you only have, let's say, like 50 pairs, you're wearing far less. If you only have 25 pairs, you're wearing 5 pairs 80% of the time. So, by the math, yes, that number would decrease, but I have a different theory. I think the less you own overall, I'm actually more inclined to believe you wear more of your sneakers on a consistent basis. So if you are someone where you've really pared your collection down to 25 or 50 pairs, and I respect you so much if you've done that. I just, from the bottom of my heart, there's so much respect there if you've done that. But I truly believe if you've pared it down to 25 or 50 pairs, I actually think you're more likely to wear, I would say, probably 50% of what you own 80% of the time. You may have those special sneakers. You don't break them out all the time, right? A lot of us have collabs or just special pairs we don't wear on a consistent basis. There's something special that happens. We pull them out. I think that's natural. But please go ahead and comment down below as well. For anyone, if you own less or you've decreased that collection count, right? Maybe once it was at 200, it's at 1, maybe it was at 100 and now it's at 75 or 50. Do you find yourself wearing more of your collection on a consistent basis? And for the 80-20 rule when it comes to apparel, I think it's even more critical, especially for me. Okay, so I think we are farther along into this video for me to really say some of y'all got me up. You really do. Like, in every way, shape, and form, you do. For the 90, probably 7 to 99% of you, you're amazing. We've built this great community together. And I think a lot of you have shared that you gravitate to my content because it feels more self-aware in a real world like context of having responsibilities, knowing that you have financial goals you want to hit, but you're still very much so interested and passionate about sneakers and brands and designers that you may love, but you understand you have to be accountable and responsible, and maybe you've entered that season of life where you start to pull back on how much you're buying, what you're wearing. Your style has really just kind of set itself in a little bit more, and I think that's natural. Honestly, as you cross that 30-year-old threshold, right? I'm approaching 35, so I think it is very realistic for a lot of us to hit this wave, this era, especially if you are a millennial. For many of us, we've been into sneakers for so long, right? Our parents had us in little toddler Nikes, and we can remember back to the special pairs that we received for our birthday or Christmas. So we are here, and I am very happy if you tune in and you feel like, oh, I can connect with her because you know what? I'm not chasing everything anymore, and maybe I need to have that reminder that not only is it okay, but this is what can happen if I'm a little bit more intentional with how I choose to spend my money. And that doesn't mean that you have to abandon sneakers or apparel altogether. I still have things that I buy, but this is why some of y'all got me messed up, effed up, whatever you would like to call it. I have said countless times, this is not my full-time career. Therefore, I don't have to move and operate on YouTube within a very hyper consumerism space. I don't have to operate the same way that my peers do. And I've also given much respect to them as they have to operate that way. It makes sense. The blueprint, the math is mathing for what it is that they choose to do when this is either their mainstream of income or, such a massive part of how they actually provide for their livelihood. That being said, I can promise you I will never feel compelled to just buy something because you as a viewer simply want me to buy it and review it to then only return it. That's simply not me. I don't have an issue with someone if they choose to operate their channel that way, but it won't be done here. So for the person that wanted to also point out, that's why I'm not growing. I barely remember to tell anyone to subscribe, okay? Why? Because I'm not trying to pressure you, push you, badger you, beg you to subscribe. Do you know, one, I'm a viewer of content as well. I watch more YouTube than I watch anything else outside of sports on a consistent basis. I can binge watch so many videos of a creator just on a loop, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I immediately hit subscribe. It may take me 10 videos to finally hit subscribe for them, and that's okay. I think it's a reason I don't feel compelled to always say, please subscribe, please subscribe. I don't. I think if you really connect with my content or just me as a person or a creator enough through what I'm sharing, then you will subscribe if you want to subscribe. That's how I feel about it. So the growth, it's not really something that I am pressed about because, again, this isn't my end-all be-all. It's a great bridge if I need it to be. Okay, it's a great platform, great outlet, great, it's a source of secondary income, but not my end-all be-all. It's not, which is clearly also what this person didn't understand of what are you actually looking to do, or are you looking to gain something? I gain something every single time you click on this video and you make a comment. Thank you for the algorithm. It's already being gained. I've been earning income since like 2019, I think. 2018 actually. So I've already been gaining something from this. It's opened many doors. Maybe you could check out the video in which I paid off a hefty amount of student loan debt thanks to extra checks based on YouTube. So I'm getting something out of this positively in a great way. But yeah, I will never feel compelled to move and operate and buy something simply because somebody else wants me to buy it. This is the reality, okay? That 80-20% rule, let's get back to that for clothing. I'm realistic with myself that I truly am wearing 20 to 30% of all of the apparel that I own, probably 80 to 90% of the time. A reminder, I work from home. So I have to intentionally put on certain outfits, okay, to go out into the world. It depends on how put together do I want to look, how much effort do I want to put in. I have to intentionally make that choice, okay? I'm not getting all dialed up and I'm not getting all fitted just to go to Target, okay? That is the most common place that you will find me. Target and Kroger. And wherever I choose to go and pick up food around town, unless I am like hanging with my best friends or something of that nature. So I'm really only wearing a small percentage of my clothing. And then yes, if there is a time where like I've been on site for Adidas projects this year, so I've intentionally put together outfits that I think are just a great representation of my style, and they work with the actual, again, brand trip that I am on. So I'm decked out in Adidas. There's points where that makes sense, but there's points where, you know what, I realize I wear my favorite thing. So the whole people that outfit repeaters, yes, because I own a washer and a dryer. I have access to a cleaner. I will wear all of my favorite staples all the time. And I'll be sure to put on video just here for you guys, like just different clips of me showcasing how I may choose to style apparel, or more so shoes, when they come in, as sparingly as they come in these days. But I'll go ahead and put those clips on so you guys can see, I wear my favorite pieces all of the time. These white crop tanks, I wear them all of the time. There are two specific styles that I wear on a consistent basis. It's this one, and it's a ribbed V-neck crop white tank. I own probably close to 7 in both styles, and I have this in black and then a different color as well. But the white crop tanks, they are a staple. They are so versatile for me as a woman, no matter what I may choose to wear. Cargo pants, okay? I've been rocking with Richie Lee for many, many years, even long before a professional, relationship in terms of me being seated items. I was busy in the back stock room on break trying to buy Richie's collections when they would drop on Saturday mornings, and I was working still at Kids Foot Locker part-time. Like, goes back. So cargo pants, some of my favorite. I have a few, so it's mostly Richie Lee collection cargo pants. I do have some minimal cargo pants, and then Jordan brand cargo pants. You guys see those consistently in so many videos of what I may choose to wear with a new pair. Jackets. I have my staple jackets. I have a denim jacket, which, mind you, I chose a Richie Lee collection jacket over a Fear of God jacket just based on the fit, the stretch, and everything for the construction of the jacket. Denim jackets, olive bomber jackets. I also have a great one that I really like from Ama Maniere. And then having blazers, just a plethora of blazers, and then leather jackets. Like, those are the 4 staples you will see me in for just layers so many times of the year when we're talking fall and winter. And then of course you have flannels, you have jerseys that are really true to myself because I am a really big sports fan. So my jerseys are worked in. I certainly have graphic tees that are worked in, and then of course sweats and hoodies, but I have those staples. And even my more casual outfits that include slacks, especially wide leg bottom slacks, a tank, and a jacket. I can dress it up or dress it down depending on whatever the setting may be. Those are the staples that really does make up like the bulk of what I wear most of the time. So what does that mean for myself? It makes it easier. Well, it made it easier up front. Now I'm trying to get through this last little hump of what I need to get rid of. It's not as easy as you would think, y'all. It's just I've hit the difficult road of getting rid of pairs and clothing now. The easier stuff is gone, but really thinking about the 80-20 rule, it's a reminder if I'm bringing items into my closet, 1, I need to get things gone, but 2, I also need to be mindful. Are the new things I'm bringing in, are they closer to the 20% of apparel I wear 80% of the time? Or is it something that I'm going to really have to work into wearing, and how much effort do I want to put into that? And then is it going to feel that the cost per wear, going back to that, is the cost per wear for that item, is it just unrealistic? Does it just not make sense? So listen, I appreciate you guys whenever you tune in and you say, oh, you're inspired by a video, the concept, the perspective, you didn't even think about that. I feel the same about so many of my favorite creators that I watch time and time again. I think that's what's amazing about social media, how we can connect the different perspectives, and then you can take that back within yourself. Again, introspection. Do you want to change maybe how you are addressing certain things, especially when it comes to the abundance of stuff that we own, because we own more than we need. We really do. So trying to fine tune all of that and then maybe adjust your behavior, it's not easy, but I certainly feel like it's been worth it for me in 2024. So please go ahead and comment down below, again, your thoughts on the 80-20 rule, how it may apply to you. And then do you have like your favorites, right? Like your fit templates where you can just plug and play different things. If you haven't figured out your fit template, I would say do it because it does make life far, far easier. So if you haven't also checked out recent videos, please be sure to do that, because outside of just this 80-20 rule, certainly talking about some other things, and I always appreciate you guys tuning in. I know 2025 is going to be a hectic year for some of you, so do you know how much that may cost you if you need every pair? Watch that video. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.